this place. Let's act like it. Let's make our presence felt. This time it's our turn. Do whatever it takes.
Hi. This is Age of Wonders Planetfall?
Yes, it is. Sorry, the stream kind of screwed up there for half a second, but I can see it now. So yeah, it is in fact Age of Wonders Planetfall, a game that I want to, like, put my biases out there first. I may be a little bit more harsh on this game than I should, purely because of the fact that I played this game immediately after playing, Total War Warhammer 2, and that being my first Total War game, so...
I see.
Well,
isn't Age of Wonders kind of a different thing anyway, a little bit?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different thing.
The 4X elements, I imagine, are the same, because Total War has it has the 4X gameplay. It's just like the combat in Total War is totally removed from most 4X games.
Yeah, and the combat in this is different too. The thing is I like the combat in Total War better. I might actually be showing the combat a little bit. But yeah.
But
anyway,
this is like an XCOM style combat.
Yeah. Whereas Total War is like a sort of real-time Mountain Blade style combat with like big armies and stuff. Right. But yeah, and that's they both have different like combat conceits, and they're both like really interesting and better than something like Civ, which is combat is you click on them and then the dudes punch each other and you see which one wins.
Yeah, I like it when 4Xs have this like meta combat to them.
Yeah,
I do and I don't. Sometimes I feel like it gets really bloated and then it takes forever though.
Yeah,
like that's my issue that I had with Endless Legend. Like, I thought the combat in that took forever, and you would always do a million times worse if you did the auto combat. So,
oh yeah,
does this one have auto combat in it?
This one definitely does have auto combat. I haven't really tried it though. I generally like you said, I do. Auto combat you usually do a lot worse, and I usually try to veer away from that. Mountain Blade has taught me well. But yeah, this game does have auto combat, and there are a bunch of different ways you can do about it. One of the things is with the 4X element, usually you have like one research tree. In this game, you have two research trees that you research stuff off of at the same time: a military tree and a like social tree, or like a
well, that way you don't have
tree.
You don't have to split yourself between, like, if you go with like a social or economic focus, you won't be totally fucked in your military.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. I do like that. You're the purple player, right?
Yeah, I'm the purple player. This is pretty early game. I think I'm on like turn 13. One of the things that this game that I really do like about this game is that it has like a bunch of little mini factions that you can talk to, and they'll give you lots of quests, and they're everywhere, and they're constantly fighting against each other, and like that aspect is really, really interesting. Whereas like usually the mini factions are not that big of a thing. They're almost like the entire game in this. It's really nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The mini factions
like
are
the city-states in Civilization, where you just say, hey, I'm gonna pay you some money, you're on my side now I win because all of the city-states love me.
Yeah, or in like Endless Space 2, where you like do one quest for them and then you assimilate them. This has a lot more depth to those, which is nice.
Good. Yeah. Now, I have heard good things about this game. So you're going into a combat right now, right?
Yeah. And this one I do particularly bad at.
Oh, good. So, are you, like, fighting against aliens? What's, like, the plot to this game?
Oh, weird. It has, like, an XCOM combat system, sort of?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I totally wasn't expecting that. Okay. Interesting.
Really? That's, like, the selling point of this game.
I do not know that much about 4Xs.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna put my dudes on Overwatch here. The plot of this game basically is you play as one of several factions who land on a planet and try to like take as much resources from it as you can and like push off the other guys, etc., etc.
So it's like a Planet Side 2 kind of deal.
Sorta, yeah.
Like there's just a bunch of factions that all landed on the same planet and they want to fuck
Yeah.
each other over.
And all of the sort of semi-city states are like the people that existed on the planet before I showed up.
Right, understandable. I see here you're playing as the Terran with your vultures and marines, and over there you have the Zerglings that you can shoot.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, these guys with these yeah, pretty much. They're like, bugs are like a thing that exist on almost all planets. I think, if I remember right, I'm doing this as like a mission for the, or maybe this was just, I just got into a combat. But later on I kill some bugs as a mission for some, AIs who were pissed off at them.
So wait, now you've piqued my interest. You said bugs are something that exists on every planet. Are the planets like, do you visit more than one planet in a game, or is it like a randomly generated planet each time you play? Or...
there are like several different campaigns that have randomly generated planets, but like different, I suppose, tile sets?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you might like have like an acid rain planet or a broken city planet like you're on, or a rainforest or something like that.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty nifty. I actually like that because if I remember correctly, Civ is the only other 4X that I can think of off the top of my head that has the randomly generated stuff. Most things have static maps.
Yeah, that's one of the problems I have with Total War Warhammer 2 is you can't make custom games, but...
Yeah, really. Total War, like, they all have the exact same map every time.
Yeah.
I feel like Endless Legend might also have randomly generated maps. That's probably the one 4X I put the most time into.
Yeah.
So that's why
we played Warlock for a little while too, but Warlock was weird.
Yeah.
That one was like weirdly PvE in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things that this XCOM combat also gives you is like the ability to call down like attacks on your enemies and like, you know, do specific damage to them if you're like a player. This game is, I feel like, almost needless to say, not as punishing as XCOM, and it sort of shouldn't be, because like with the 4X elements you can sort of build up your armies to be bigger than the barbarians, essentially.
There's so much that happens outside of combat that if it was too punishing in combat it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, XCOM is like, it's about the combat, and the metagame is basically like trying not to lose as much as you can in the combats. But with this, it's like...
It's like you're building something up, and
you
might
wait
just be ridiculous
all you want until you have to do a combat.
Yeah, and you can just build up a huge army. And also, one thing that it does share in common with like Total War is that, you know, you got two armies next to each other. They'll both like join the combat, and you'll have like two pods of XCOMs on each side. That's another thing you don't need to worry about.
Yeah, one of the worst parts of XCOM was like pulling pods and trying to like manage the movement. So having it just everyone spawns in, it's like, well, okay, we're already in combat. Makes it a little bit easier to deal with.
Yeah. You know where the enemy are, they know where you are, and it's just like,
XCOM
okay,
was
here
like
we go.
balanced around the idea that you would only pull one pod at a time.
Well, balanced around the idea that you should.
Yeah, should only pull one pod at a time.
Yeah.
And if you don't, fuck you.
Yeah. That you should try to pull only one pod at a time as best you can.
I like how the bugs are called the Independents, as though there's some, like, freedom fighters for this planet that you, the player, are invading.
Well, I'm gonna be real. Based on the faction that I'm playing, they kind of are.
Ah, I see.
On this one, I played the just massive exploiter bastard people. As I usually do.
Well, we have to destroy all of the bugs because they're evil. Well, what makes them so evil?
They were here and we want their stuff.
You heard that, man. You heard that, man. He was just like, serves them right.
Yeah,
for
serves them right.
Existing.
Fuck
How
these
dare
bugs.
they try
They're
to
on the
have
planet
their
that we
home.
want.
I'm actually more interested in this game now than I thought I would be. Seeing this combat, because that actually
I feel like I don't have enough time in my life to play this game.
That's true.
That's
Looking at it, like I'm seriously looking at it, and I'm like, I do not have the time to dedicate this much amount of time to one combat.
Yeah.
You know what the funny thing about this game is? Almost more than any 4X I've ever played. You know how 4Xs have like the whole one more turn thing? I feel like what does that for me is that like the turns kind of last a little while and you do a lot of stuff. I was constantly clicking the next turn button, next turn, next turn, next turn. Oh, I'm in a combat, so now the game has started. Okay, next turn, next turn, next turn.
That's funny.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like so it doesn't like hook me in as much as like the 4X part doesn't hook me in as much as something like Endless Space 2's 4X part hooked me in, but like it's a quicker 4X level of the 4X game, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That actually might be better for people who are
It
less.
puts a little bit more focus on the combat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, like, hypothetically, I don't know how good of a feel you have for this game, but hypothetically, if you were, like, bad at 4Xs, but really good at, like, this tactical XCOM combat, could you, like, succeed pretty well, like...
Oh, I think yeah,
like,
absolutely.
playing poorly in 4Xs, but winning exchanges because you know how to XCOM good?
Yeah, and there are specific factions that, like, sort of reward you with that, like... one of the things that's really great about the 4X combat in this game is it's really intricate. I'm actually leveling up my hero, and like every faction has a bunch of different specific abilities that all of their units get. So, you know, there are a bunch of different play styles that they can do. Like, I'm using sort of a specifically ranged group of boys who use psionics and stuff. Like, one of my abilities is, you know, like, the XCOM aliens can, like, mind control and give, like, their boys more points. My dudes can do that. So, you know, it's,
But can you mind control an enemy faction's builder unit?
Possibly.
I have a question.
I haven't gotten that far, yes.
How different are the races in this game? Or, like... whatever they're called in this.
Well, in the end, it's mostly XCOM combat with guns. I've only played 2 of the races.
How many are there?
I've played, like, I think there's, like,
well, do they have, like, different upgrade paths, or...?
Yeah.
Okay.
They all have different upgrade paths, their units have different abilities, they have different units, stuff like that.
Do you think it affects more of the 4X side of it, or the combat side of it?
I don't think it affects the 4X side of it very much at all, but it definitely affects the combat side of it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting.
No.
Which would
like,
make it quite different from, like, even Endless
Most
Legends,
4Xs.
which is very, very much in a similar, like, kind of combat way. Like, it's combat focused, even if the combat isn't as fun. But,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing, like, Endless Space is one that I, you know, do talk about a lot, too, and it's, like, its factions are very much, like, different on the 4X side, which is why, like, I chose this faction to be the sort of, like, money makers, and I was expecting to sort of be that, but I didn't find, at least while I was playing it, all that much of a difference.
Well, see,
you know?
gameplay-wise, this definitely, like, I wouldn't call it comparable to Endless Space. Endless Space is kind of its own, like, thing in the 4X genre. like Civilization has the, like, grids and tile-based things. Endless Space, you know, like, the only places that you can move are on planets. Like, you move from planet to planet to planet to planet, so there are, like, pre-planned paths. Endless Space has its own, like, tactics in the overworld. But whereas this has its, like, Civilization thing, which you can't be terribly tactical, let's be honest. Like, if you block one place, then they might just walk around you. But when you go into the combat, instead of just, oh, my unit is better than his unit, it automatically wins. It's like, oh, my army has more guys, but they might outmaneuver me.
Right, and I think that like Endless Legend is probably more similar to this, but also is similar to Endless Legend for the same kind of reasons, because like Endless Legend is also very different on the 4X side of it.
Yeah.
Even more so than in the combats, but also it's more combat focused than I think it is more than most 4Xs, and
Yeah, Endless
So-
Legend has kind of like a Heroes of Might and Magic kind of
Yeah,
combat.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Fire Emblem almost, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It seems pretty cool. I really like it when 4X's add like a unique combat system.
Yeah.
Now, with this military and society research trees, can you research like new ability? Like what's the difference between that? Society is all like outer 4X gameplay, and military is all like
More or
inside the
less.
combat, is what I would assume, right?
More or less, like society is stuff like, you know, here I'm upgrading like my town with new stuff that give them more ability
Food
to
and
make
stuff.
foods to grow the populations and stuff. Whereas with military, it like gives me the ability to create different types of minions, different types of dudes that can kill people in different types of ways, and give them also all different abilities. But also, military gives me the ability to like spy on other player characters, figure out what they're doing, like remove fog of war for a little bit, or just, you know, do other nefarious deeds.
Yes, nefarious deeds.
As one does.
Yes.
So now I know I'm throwing a lot of questions out at you, but are there win conditions that like could you theoretically win this game with no combat involved, other than defending yourself, or is it pretty much only a conquest victory?
I honestly don't know. Maybe.
Like I know in Civilization you can, you know, like go as hard as you can into science and be the first person to get to the moon and you win, and you could in theory win Civilization without ever destroying a single enemy unit. Obviously that won't happen, but theoretically you could. Whereas this, like, obviously they worked really hard on this combat system.
Yeah.
Like, would they want to put in a condition where you could win just without using it?
I just couldn't see that happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that there's I maybe not like without ever using it, especially with like NPC factions, because they sort of run around. They run around and they sort of like will actively invade you, and that was actually one of the most fun things. Is playing as the defenders in this game is really great.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't shoot around this palm tree.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's essentially exactly what
That's
happened.
XCOM.
That's it. Oh, another thing this differs from XCOM is every time you attack in XCOM, you like attack once. Every time you attack in this game, you attack multiple times, and it rolls like the dice for every time that you attack.
Oh, that's cool.
So like it'll give you like, this is the maximum amount of damage you can do if you do all of the damage possible. If you get like a bonus and do more damage, you might be able to do more, but baseline, this is all the damage you can possibly do with all of your attacks if you succeed.
Cool.
But yeah.
So it's less all or
Okay,
nothing
okay.
than XCOM is.
Yeah.
XCOM is very
lots
much
less
like
that.
you hit or you
Yeah,
don't.
it's like you hit or you miss, and if you miss, then you've wasted your entire turn, and your guy is gonna die next turn. Fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I guess you should never miss, huh?
Yeah. Don't worry, man. You have a 95% chance to hit.
You'll be fine.
So let me rephrase my question a little bit.
There's some salty feelings
Is
left
there
over from XCOM.
any non-military win condition? Like,
Any non-military win conditions?
yeah.
I actually don't know. I deadass actually just straight up don't know. Like,
So if there
Right.
is, it's not surfaced very well, at least.
Yeah.
Right. Because I know that when you start a game of Civ, it's like, here's how you can win. You can destroy every single one of your opponents and crush them underneath your feet, or you can do these other 4 things.
you won't, but you could.
Yeah.
And Endless
But
Legend,
this
by
one doesn't
contrast,
really
has
tell
like
you.
Endless Legend, by contrast, has like 4 or 5 win conditions, and every race has their own specific win condition too.
Yeah, that's something I admire about Endless Legend, is that all of the races really feel like unique. Whereas in Civilization, like obviously everybody in Civ is human, so they can't make them too crazy different. But
Yeah.
like there really isn't much uniquity. It's like you get like one faction and one special ability, or one unit and one special ability that probably won't be useful until either late game or only useful early game. So,
yeah,
what's the point? Whereas, in this, from what I can tell, every faction seems pretty darn unique. Like the units aren't just like copies of each other, right?
Yeah, so, yeah.
They're like,
at least they weren't for the 2 that I played.
Okay.
Another like comparison to like Warhammer is Warhammer's got like a pretty unique like combat system. Like I like to play as Chaos, which basically means I'm a map hazard, and if I do all my quests, then you win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then here I'm taking a quest from these androids who are telling me to kill these guys. I think yeah, I kill these guys, and then then I end. I show off the like, because I've been building up like this army over here on this other town and trying to make him strong. So I sort of just combine them.
Gotcha. So I actually had a question about your hero units. Do the factions have their own like unique designed heroes, or does everybody get random heroes? Because I've seen it both ways.
I think the factions each get their unique designed heroes. At least I haven't gotten I didn't get like the same ones. The hero that I've mostly been playing is a hero that I essentially designed myself. It gives you like a certain number of points that you can put in, and you can give it like abilities. Like I gave mine like a motorbike.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That motorbike doesn't like come base with that hero.
No, this is a hero I created on my own.
Cool. I didn't even realize that. Like See, I'm glad you said that, because I pretty much just assumed that hero was just like a pre-made hero. So
yeah.
So even that like vulture bike is unique to it, like something that you put on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't usually see very much like custom-made hero stuff in games like this very often.
Yeah.
Maybe like one if it's like your leader hero, and then that's it.
Yeah. What was it? The hero creation thing kind of reminded me of Stellaris a little bit, like how you create your like races and stuff. It was really similar to that, basically.
Like taking positive and negative traits to try and create a well-balanced hero. Like you can take that kind
like I'm pretty sure my hero is like a drunkard who parties all the time, and that was one of the negative traits I could give her.
Oh, good. You get drunk all the time. You probably miss a lot, but that's okay because your motorbike has a special targeting computer.
Yeah. You don't need to. You don't need to know where you're shooting.
You don't need to aim if you just blow up the entire battlefield.
Yeah.
Steel Ren.
Yeah.
Steel Rain.
Exactly.
Operations.
All right, so is that pretty much your thoughts with
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Age of Wonders Planetfall?
Yeah. Truth is, I never got very far in any games. This is like a first impression, but yeah, first impressions is pretty good. The problem is I was playing this game and thinking I could also be playing Warhammer Dawn of War, and I like that a little better, but that's just me.
Not
like,
Dawn of War.
Oh yeah, not Dawn of War, the other one, Total War.
War.
You can see how I would get those mixed up. But yeah, essentially, like, if you are more interested in, like, XCOM combat than, like, Mountain Blade Army planning, then I would absolutely recommend this game, because the XCOM combat is pretty fucking good.
It does seem like it's doing a good job of differentiating itself from other 4Xs, too, because it would be very easy to, like, fall into the trap of being very similar to, like, Civ or Endless Legend or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
go ahead.
hang on. To compare to Total War, when I played Total War, I got spanked by every single fucking person I came across. Did you feel like that when you first picked up this game? Like, or could you have a decent fight against everybody?
Maybe I played on too low of a difficulty, but I felt like I didn't have that problem. But then again, I didn't really have that problem that much with Total War.
Yeah, well, I suck at video games, so.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So.
Okay.
leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe. I said comment twice. Join our Discord channel.
Comment twice.
Actually, do join our Discord channel.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, we have lots of fun there.
I love those boys.
All right.
They're great.
Thanks for joining us as always, and remember,
stay beautiful.